But whatever it is, the 1619 argument that of this seems to me, if you're trying to counter and rule out 1776, Martin Luther King's message was that the Constitution and the Declaration were promissory notes. Like, he made his argument on the basis of the promise. Now, the promise, he was very clear, was not fulfilled, right? It was unfulfilled. But he didn't want to delegitimate the promise. He wanted America to make good on the promise.
He did, and I think he was brilliant in how he approached the entire civil rights movement. And without him, things wouldn't be the same right now. But if you look over history, it's important for us to really, acknowledge the fact that we had slavery here, where people were murdered and beaten, and we still feel those effects today. Just like when we came over and took the land from the Indians, we can't deny that. And for me, as a black man, I grew up in Texas, and we had to take Texas history. So we learned all of our history about Texas for 2 full years there. And I think sometimes in America we want to ignore the facts and the reality, but the point that you made is spot on. The Constitution allows us to become the greatest nation in the world. For black people, if you look at blacks across America, there's no country in the world where blacks can achieve more than they can here in the United States. Let's not deny that fact, and I think that is what should be celebrated right now in Black History Month, is the opportunity that we have. We see historical growth in jobs for African Americans. We see women that are starting businesses.
You would say
you can't do that everywhere.
You can still hold us to the challenge, right? I mean, the thing about the Declaration, the language, it's always a challenge, right? Because we're toward not a perfect, a more perfect union, right?
Yes,
it's always a challenge to whatever inequalities and disparities exist in society, right?
100%. There's always a challenge, but come with me to Haiti and come see some of the orphanages that I have there in some of the hospitals, and you ask those people how they feel. You come to me to Malawi and most other black nations where people are living trying to come to America. And so there's a reason for that, and that can't be ignored.
Right.